I'm Neto. This is my voyage from Refugee to refitting a sailboat. I'm a barber at sea, cutting through the waves. If I can do it, so you can. To kick things off, I'm running the engine for two reasons.
I'm flushing the engine from all the seawater, and I'll be adding non-toxic antifreeze to the cooling system.
And second, to warm up the engine oil before draining it. Now, it is why this is so important. Running the engine ensures the oil heats up, making it thinner and easier to pump out, using my fuel polishing pump. This also helps remove any build-up sludge or contaminants, leaving the engine cleaner and ready for fresh oil. Just a temporary, so there is no need to pour all there. With this step, I'm not just winterizing the boat, but also taking care of the engine for long-term reliability. It's a simple but essential part of the process. Okay, we're done. So what I will do here is insert this pipe that is coming from the pump into the dipstick of the engine. Get this here. And I just found this jerry can in the trash, which I will use to store the oil. Now that the old oil is completely drained, it's time to give the engine some fresh life with the new oil. I'm carefully adding the correct grade of oil specific for this engine, ensuring it's topped up to the right level for optimal performance. Spot on. Tomorrow I add the coolant. Inspecting all the hoses and belts. I've checked at the back of the engine. Inspect the alternator belt, is critical part of engine maintenance. Turn off the engine. Safety first. Make sure the engine is completely off and allow it to cool down if it's been running. Locate the belt. Find the alternator on your engine. The belt will connect the alternator to the engine crankshaft pulley. Check the tension. Test the tightness by pressing down the belt midway between the alternator and the crankshaft pulley. A properly tensioned belt should deflect about ½ inch under firm pressure. If it's too loose or tight, it needs adjustment. Inspect for wear and tear. Look closely at the belt surface. Check for cracks, fraying, or glazing. A shiny surface indicates slipping. Look for missing chunks of rubber or threads coming loose. If you see significant wear, it's time to replace the belt. Examine the pulley alignment. Inspect the pulley to ensure they are properly aligned. Misaligned pulley can cause uneven wear on the belt. Listen for unusual noises. If you've been hearing squealing or chirping sound while the engine is running, it's often a sign of worn or loose belt. Check for oil or debris. Ensure the belt is clean and dry. Oil or grease on the belt can cause it to slip and wear out faster. Adjust or replace if necessary. If the belt shows signs of damage, replace it immediately. Always keep a spare alternator belt on board for emergencies. So tomorrow I'll just change the fuel filters. I've been checking all the hoses already. All seem fine. I will have to take all these ropes home to wash it and store it. Very windy outside today. This trainer is full of rubbish, seaweed. Take the opportunity to clean it, wash it. Next, I've moved on to the cooling system. After flushing out the seawater earlier, I'm now adding on-tox antifreeze. This step is crucial for winterization as it protects the engine from freezing temperatures and prevents internal corrosion. This is where I've mixed the antifreeze. Alright, we are almost done with the oil changing antifreeze process, but before we wrap up, I've got a pro tip that every bluewater sailor should know. It's a simple step that can save you from major headaches at sea, so stick around for that. Okay, I'm by myself in the boat. However, I need to keep the liquid or the coolant running while I turn the engine. So what I'm gonna do is warm up the engine before I start, and then I'm gonna put a bottle here so that the coolant keep running. Okay, here we go. Let me go outside and turn on the engine or warm it up. Okay, that's it. Enough of coolant all coming out from the exhaust. One more important step in the winterization process is filling up the diesel tank. You might be wondering, why is this necessary? Let me explain. Filling up the diesel tank is crucial to prevent condensation. When the tank isn't full, the air inside contains moisture that can condense on the tank walls as the temperature drops. This creates water, which can lead to rust, microbial growth, and even fuel contamination. By keeping the tank full, there is less air and less chance for moisture to form. It's a simple step that helps protect your fuel system and engine during storage. It is a quick tip. If you are storing the boat for a while, consider using a diesel stabilizer or biocide. This helps keep your fuel clean and prevent microbial growth. I will be changing the fuel filter, the oil filter, and the impeller, but I'll check the impeller first for any wear and tear. If it's still good, I'll leave it for later. Here I've got my spare part kit, SOS. I've got some fuel filters here, oil filters, and Let's see what else do I have in this box. I've got impeller, spare impeller. I've got parking gland and another fuel filter, some rings, seals for the impeller, and I've got another belt for the alternator. But this belt seems to be fine so far. So let's crack on. Do you have any tips or tricks for storing diesel tanks over the winter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. Let me get some paper ready. So we're going for the oil filter first. Get some paper here ready. Okay. I just need to get this tied properly. Just by hand will be enough. This is done. Now let's go for fuel. Get this ready. Now that we've wrapped up the oil change, diesel filter, oil filter, and added antifreeze, it is the pro tip I mentioned earlier. Make it a habit to inspect your alternator belt regularly, at least before every major passage or once a month. A off belt ensures your alternator generates power efficiently, which is critical for charging your batteries and keeping all your systems running smoothly. Coming up next, we are diving into some more essential winterization tasks. I will show you how to change the impeller, check and fix the bilge pump, and tackle a few other key jobs to get the boat ready for the off-season. These steps are crucial for keeping everything running smoothly when it's time to hit the water again. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful or have your own maintenance tips, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more sailing tips and adventures. Okay, so pour some of this fuel here.